All right, time now for Alan Hans and Knicks Fix. And as always, we say hello to Alan downstairs in the Squarespace studio. Alan, we are past the halfway point of the season, and Marcus Morris says, hey, no more excuses.
Yeah, and this happened after the loss to the Phoenix Suns, which drew a lot of concern in that Knick locker room, and obviously outside of it as well for the way they performed at home. And Marcus Morris has been a vocal leader on this team. And he spoke openly about the effort and the loss, and he said that the time is now to start coming together as a team. And when he was given the excuse that we've heard for the first half of the season about how there's 9 new players here still trying to get to know each other, he said it doesn't have anything to do with new faces. We did that in the beginning. As a team, we have to pull together, got to know what we're looking for, know the game plan and execute the game plan and just give ourselves a chance to win. He said our energy level, he continued, is not where it's supposed to be. X and O's, at the end of the day, only goes so far. Our energy level hasn't been where it needs to be. And that certainly is something we noticed in the loss to Phoenix. And he ended by saying, being together, we're halfway through the season. You would expect us to be more together out there and more tighter. I just think at times we're pulling apart when we should be bringing it together. Now, you remember after the coaching change, the Knicks were 6-6 in the first 12 games under interim coach Mike Miller. They have just 1 win now in the last 8 games. And Morris is one of the leading scorers on the team, and he did miss 5 of those games, but his presence on the court was missed. But we're seeing it was also missed in the locker room. So him saying this stuff right now should be something that everybody hears on this team. And I wonder if it will resonate tonight as they are back at home against a very good Sixers team.
Okay, Alan, there's been a ton of discussion about an NBA in-season tournament, a play-in round to get into the playoffs with seeds 7 through 10 vying for a couple of spots, all kinds of changes that had potentially been on the table. But where does all that stand right now?
Well, hit the pause button. That's where it stands right now. It is on hold. ESPN put out a report yesterday that said that the NBA has now informed teams that the idea of a vote for some of these changes that we had discussed right here, actually, about a couple of weeks ago that we thought were going to be implemented by the 2021 season or 21-22 seasons. They wanted to have a vote in April on it with the Board of Governors. But because they're getting some pushback on some of these ideas, that now will not be put to a vote in April. Now, how long will we wait remains to be seen. They're still now deliberating over some of these ideas. And as we know, you mentioned a few of them, a wild card round, which I think has been met positively. But some of the questions are about the in-season tournament, when exactly to play that. And there's also questions, about shortening the season and the reseeding of the conference finalists, which seemed like a good idea. A lot of pushback on that as well. So these are interesting ideas, and I think most of them are well received. But the idea that they're going to be voted on and maybe even implemented within the next 2 seasons, that's been put on hold for now. We'll see how long it takes for them to get back to a vote on it. But it doesn't mean necessarily that these ideas are out. They are very interesting ones, of course, and we'll just have to wait and see where the NBA goes from here.
All right, Alan, the opponent tonight, the Sixers, they made the process famous, but now the process is at the crossroads. What do you have on that?
Well, I mean, a lot of the changes that we just talked about with the NBA have to do with trying to keep teams looking at winning and talking about winning instead of getting to a point in the season where maybe the regular season games don't mean as much and you start thinking about that terrible word, that curse word in the NBA, tanking. And the league's been trying to get that out. Well, it did really start because of Sam Hinkie and the process with the Sixers as they started to go through a 4-year span of some epic losing. That's one season they only won 10 games, and they struggled. And the result of the process was, okay, high draft picks. That's what Hinkie talked about. That's the process. Well, here are your high draft picks. Embiid is an all-star. Ben Simmons is an all-star. Okafor is somewhere else now. Markelle Fultz is someone else now. And in that 4-year span, we're showing you that they had 4 years of top 3 picks. They came away with 2 stars. They did have 7 overall first-round picks in that span. And that's what they came away with, 2 all-star players. And the bigger concern now is while Embiid is out right now with an injury, and he has been injured throughout his career, now they're arguing whether or not Simmons and Embiid can play together. Should they stay together, or maybe should one of them, and talk has been about Simmons, should be traded? Now, can you imagine that? You go through it 7 years later, you go through all of that, and where have you gotten? Now, last year they were 1 bounce away, an incredible shot by Kawhi Leonard away from getting to the conference final, but still, if you're going through that much losing, shouldn't you be a championship caliber team by now?
Yeah, it's taken a long time, that is for sure, and who knows where it's headed. How about your stat of the night now?
Well, stat of the night is whether it's resulted in a championship or not, the Sixers have dominated the Knicks since the process has been completed. So after the last 2 years, the Knicks have lost 10 straight games to Philly. No Embiid tonight. Sixers on a back-to-back. Will that end tonight?